I am 84 years old. I'm sitting in a leather chair that cost more than my first house. I am looking out the window of a home with 7 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a driveway long enough to park a fleet of cars. And I would burn every single brick of it to the ground if it could buy me one ordinary Tuesday from 1982. They tell you the hardest part of getting old is the body giving out. The aches, the doctors, the slow fade of your memory. They're wrong. The hardest part is the math. When you get to my age, you sit in quiet rooms, and you start adding up the hours. You calculate what you traded your life for. And you realize, with a cold pit in your stomach, that you made a terrible deal. I spent my entire life getting rich. And it is the greatest regret I will take to my grave. I didn't start out greedy. I don't think anyone does. I was 24, terrified, and holding my newborn son. I looked at his tiny hands, and I made a silent promise to him. I promised he would never know the struggle I knew. I promised he would have the best. The best clothes, the best schools, the best life. I thought I was making a noble vow. I didn't realize I was signing away his father. Society applauds the man who works 80 hours a week. They call you a provider. They pat you on the back when you get the promotion, when you buy the bigger house, when you upgrade the car. So I kept climbing. I answered every late-night phone call. I took every weekend business trip. I told myself, just one more year of grinding, and then I'll slow down. Just let me close this deal, and then we'll take that family vacation. But the finish line kept moving. It always moves. I told my wife, Eleanor, I'm doing this for us. Every time I missed a dinner, every time I slipped out of bed before sunrise, I used those words like a shield. I'm doing this for us. What a beautiful, convincing lie that was. I wasn't doing it for us. I was doing it for the ego. For the thrill of winning. I had convinced myself that my money was a substitute for my presence. There is a specific memory that haunts me. My daughter, Sarah, was 7 years old. It was a Saturday morning. The sun was streaming through the kitchen window. She had this little blue notebook she carried everywhere. She loved to draw. She came up to me while I was at the kitchen table, buried in paperwork, desperately trying to finalize a merger. She tugged at my sleeve. Look, Daddy. I drew our family. I didn't look up. I kept my eyes on the spreadsheets. I waved her off. Not right now, sweetie. Daddy is busy. Daddy is working. Daddy is working. If I could go back in time, I would grab that younger version of myself by the shoulders and shake him until he woke up. I didn't see the drawing until years later, when I was packing up her childhood room after she moved out. I found the little blue notebook in the back of her closet. I opened it. She had drawn Eleanor. She had drawn her brother. She had drawn the family dog. And next to them, she had drawn a closed door. That was me. I wasn't a person in her childhood. I was a closed door. I was a briefcase by the stairs. I was a voice on the phone saying I'd be late. I bought her a pony that year. I paid for her entire college tuition in cash. But I never looked at the drawing. And I can never get that Saturday morning back. Eleanor passed away 5 years ago. When she got sick, I tried to throw all my money at the illness. I hired the best specialists, rented private wings in the best hospitals. I tried to buy her more time. But time isn't something you can buy back at the end. You only get to spend it once. In her final days, she couldn't speak much. But she squeezed my hand, and she looked at me with eyes that had loved me for 50 years. And I knew what she was thinking. She didn't care about the portfolio. She didn't care about the estate. She just wanted the man she married. The man who had been at the office for 50 years. Now I am alone. My children are successful. They are polite. They call me on holidays. They make sure my nurses are paid. But there is a distance between us that cannot be bridged. A polite, terrible distance. You see, you cannot cultivate intimacy in the winter of your life if you did not plant the seeds in the spring. I gave them everything money could buy. But I starved them of the only thing that actually mattered, me. My time. My attention. My eye contact. If you are listening to this, and you are young, and you are hungry, listen to me very carefully. Money is a tool. It will put a roof over your head and food on your table. But it is a jealous master. It will ask for your mornings, your evenings, and your weekends. It will demand your youth, and it will slowly steal your memories before you even have the chance to make them. Do not trade your life for numbers on a screen. Close the laptop. Put down the phone. Go look at the drawing. Go eat dinner with your wife. Let them fire you. Let the deal fall through. Because I promise you, 50 years from now, you will not remember the promotion. But you will remember the empty chair at the dinner table. And you will have to live with the ghost of the life you were too busy to live. Don't be a closed door.